into stone. The air forgot its shape. The horizon broke its oath. What never could be touched was held within the world. Tempus non natus, scriptum sine horna, aperiatur signum vetus. From the wound between the winds it came, the sparrow that devours the world, the hunter of the fleeing cloud. Black wings over the unnamed heights, a beak of hunger, eyes of ash.
A relic bound beneath its claws.
It carried the parchment of the unmade time.
It carried the breath of the never-born age.
It carried the seal no calendar knows.
It carried the ruin of unwritten days. It carried the ruin of unwritten days.
Touched the skin of the sleeping script, and silence opened like a gate. No mortal archive carved this page, no kingdom measured this return. The parchment came from a time forgotten, a time that never became time. 3 messages slept within its folds, 3 fires without one source.
One of longing, one of slaughter, one of words older than speech.
And all creation leaned to hear.
Tempus abolitum, verbum absconditum.
Right descended nunc.
It carried the parchment of the unmade time.
It carried the breath of the never-born age.
It carried the seal no calendar knows.
Now the first dark message waits. Silent edge. A living ache rose into sound. Not weakness, not weeping dust, but a vow that crossed dead constellations to reach the one who walked beyond return. It came from the disciple left beneath long heavens, from the soul that kept the lamp through endless frost, from the hands that held remembrance like a blade of flame, from the heart that would not let the teaching die. Magister audimi, per stellas ridies, lux non deficit.
Longing moved like an ancient river.
Hope burned like a star that refused the grave. Agape stood above them both, a fire that asked for nothing. memory became a blade of dawn, and every prayer turned toward one return, not to possess,
but to witness once more.
Agape invicta,
Spes non moritur.
ready parabissum.
Longing moved like an ancient river.
Hope burned like a star that refused the grave. Amcape stood above them both,
And the parchment trembled in Wu's hand.
then the message fell into stillness,
But not
into peace.
for long.
When it survives eternity, becomes a force, the worlds must answer. From the second wound within the parchment, a red oath tore through the air. Not grief that begged, not sorrow that knelt, but fury sharpened by immortal fracture. A hymn forged from what loss could not bury.
A heart once deathless had been broken open, its chambers filled with ash and names undone. Everything beloved reduced to cinders, everything guarded fed to ruin.
And from that ruin rose a law of blades, a promise spoken through clenched eternity.
I saw the halls collapse in fire.
I saw the sacred faces turn to smoke,
I saw the last warm life profaned.
and in that hour mercy lost its tongue. What could not die learned how to hate. What could not fade became the hand of slaughter.
Sanguis lopitor,
Ignis judicat,
nihil pacitor.
every word became an edge,
Every breath became a strike. The voice did not sing.
it carved. It split the veil with iron hunger. It taught the dark to open wider. Who lives with love may build a world. Who loses all may unmake one. Thus the broken immortal answered heaven, not with prayer, but with exterminating speech.
Not with lament,
But with a storm of execution. Blade of grief, mouth of ruin, heart of embers crowned in wrath. The message burned as if the page itself could no longer endure the heat of memory, could no longer contain the will to kill.
I made no throne.
I spare no lineage,
I leave no sanctuary standing.
for what was taken cannot be restored, and what remains of me is the hunger that follows the pyre. Calum finditor, verbum ferofit, mors invocator. Every word became an edge, every breath became like a battlefield folded into sound. Then the parchment shook in his hand, for fury this pure is never only rage. It is grief after the final threshold. It is love with its flesh torn away. It is the soul when nothing remains except the right to destroy. From the third fold of the deathless parchment, no sorrow rose, no oath of blood, but words too old for tongues. 9 living weights, 9 hidden taus, 9 sealed pulsations waiting for one breath. They did not arrive as language, they arrived as pressure, as keys buried beneath the bones of creation. Each one struck the dark from within. Each one bent the unseen hinges. Each one called the oldest root of being to awaken. Novum Arcana, Novum Claves, Verbum Anti-Verbum. Wu stood before their circling force, and all horizons tightened. The heavens listened like open wounds, the void leaned inward. Even silence feared to remain untouched, for these were not names to be spoken lightly. These were structures that taught sound how to exist. The first 3 burned through the air like hidden stars. The second 3 descended like sealed judgments. The final 3 rose like pillars from the buried source. Then the 9 drew inward, not scattered now, not many, but converging toward one forbidden design. Naravana Kael. 3 words from 9. Naravana Kael. 3 wounds from one origin. Naravana Kael. 3 crowns forged in the furnace before time. They struck together, they locked together, they became more than utterance. Nara for the awakening before dawn. Vana for the descent, no height escapes. Kael for the return that devours the end. And in their union, the secret axis formed, the hidden code behind forgotten eras. The Wu name sleeping behind creation. Nomen absconditum. Forma prima janua tremit. Varunayo Kael. Forma prima janua tremit. Varunayo Kael. Varunayo Kael. The parchment trembled, the air split. The law beneath the world began to yield. No hand had opened any gate, yet all reality had started to loosen. For once the secret name was gathered whole, the next threshold could no longer remain closed. Naravana Kael. Varunaro Kael. Naravana Kael. And Wu beheld the final shape of the third message.
Not as ink, not as chant,
slowly inside the heart of the impossible. Upon the parchment once more, and into its missing hollow, he placed the word that had always waited there. Beneath the root of time, 3 pulses older than memory, 3 wounds cut into the law of sequence, and the unseen door answered. Janua sign forma, aperi in nihil, tempus cadat. It did not open like iron.
It did not open like light.
It did not open like light.
It opened as if the world forgot its own frame.
As if the skin of reality loosened, and the hidden threshold stepped forward. From behind all things, the others moved with Wu into that impossible breach. No banner remained.
No sky remained.
No witness kept its place.
The crossing erased.
The ground of the crossing.
The act consumed its own event.
And even time denied it had occurred. And the door devoured the hour. Beyond the gate lay the world without aftermath, the realm beyond naming, the chamber where unmade errors sleep. Mountains stood like memories never lived. Rivers of silence climbed upward, and every horizon trembled before an unborn law. There the 3 waited, still as verdicts, ancient as causes not yet spoken. Each bore one sealed word in the depth of its being. Each guarded one fragment of the hidden code. Each watched Wu as if the oldest cycle had returned. The first gave the pulse of awakening Nara. The second gave the depth of descent, Mana. The third gave the seal of return. Kael, tria verba una clavis nomen insurgit Nara, Vana, Kael. Then the 3 became one movement, one lock turning inside the impossible. One name risen from erased dominions. One secret held only by the Viajante. The name of the place beyond the broken calendars. The Wu name behind the silence of worlds. Varunaroka.
The void bowed around it.
The gate sealed behind it.
And what had happened vanished
from all measures. Yet Wu
walked onward bearing
the hidden name toward the force that would soon bend the Tao itself. king cried out,
and the Tao bent under the sound.
its hidden codes unfolded like torn constellations, its sealed measures opened like wounds. Before the starred Tao of the cryptic one, before the laughter that read what should not be read, then the eye of Cryptus awakened, a black star inside the law, a burning witness that searched every secret vein, every buried hinge, every silent script beneath becoming. Nothing concealed itself from that gaze.
Oculus Altissimos,
Lax Fenditor,
Arcana Nudantor.
the heavens warped around the pressure, the void recoiled without escape. Temples of sequence cracked in their own foundations, and every current of order seemed ready to kneel, for Varunarokel did not strike as beast or king. He struck as decipherments made predatory. He saw the seams of origin, he touched the nerves of pattern. He tracked hidden structures into naked flame, and with each roar the Tao shuddered wider, as if all mystery were being forced into confession. The night arrived, not bright as heaven, but vast as silence exploding, a white absence devouring all noise, a pressure that erased the right of terror to remain. And through that impossible stillness, Wu stepped forth, the Viajante, the Mestre du Templo, the smile before the breaking of false dominion, abysm that opens darkness, that unveils true light born from the primal night. Burn all that believes it has seen you, flows the Ludo Surgets.
Ex-Ludo and Astra.
Arbor Fiat Wu spoke, and the battle changed its nature. No longer a contest of force alone, but of what may stand before the root of truth.
Varunarokel hurled codes like chain suns.
The eye of Cryptus fled through every veil, yet Wu advanced one step,
And all distortion trembled.
the cryptic one read the streams of Tao. Wu read the hunger beneath the reader. The cryptic one opened the veins of law. Wu touched the wound before law had a name.
Plug and sword.
Cipher against presence, reading against knowing. Varunarokel roared again, and the fractured heavens descended like blades. Wu answered with silence sharpened into form. Their powers collided across the opened code, and the worlds heard structure itself scream. Then Wu prepared the deeper answer, not yet the final formula, not yet the full name, but the first irresistible movement, the first step toward the undoing of the cryptic throne. And as the eye of Cryptus burned at its widest reach,
Who smiled once more.
for now the true battle had begun. Took the first step, and the tree of worlds, sky, and Tao moved as one. Roots shook beneath the law of heavens, branches tore through sealed immensities, and from that living axis rose the first true name, Matsu. He took the second step, an infinite extension answered. Distance broke into vast obedient currents. Horizons opened like folded iron, and from the spread beyond all measure came the second name, Han. He took the third step, joints of becoming. He tracked distortion across the bones of worlds. But Wu placed the fourth name into the sequence, Wu, and the formula stood complete.
Matsu-Wu Hao Harabi. Matsu-Wu Hao Harabi. Matsu-Wu Hao Harabi. Matsu-Wu Hao Harabi.
Name of the Viajante, name of the Mestre du Templo, name of the Quebrador de Jogos. At that utterance the current of Tao altered, not broken in chaos, but turned toward its first obedience. The tree became judgment, extension became dominion, expansion became seal, and Wu became the hand that ends false reading. Varunaro Kyle opened 1,000 stellar ciphers. Wu answered with one completed presence. Varunaro Kyle opened the visible law. Wu touched the source before law had shape. Varunaro Kyle sought to master every secret. Wu revealed the root from which all secrets flee. Arbor Regnat, Lux Exumbra,
Origo Vocat.
then the cryptic throne collapsed. The eye of Cryptus cracked under its own hunger. The star distortion split and withered. Every stolen code fell back into silence. And the one who had read too deeply stood naked before the origin he had forgotten. Who did not kill in wrath, he did not scatter him into waste. He defeated him by understanding, by showing the limit of the cryptic will, by forcing all distortion to remember its first wound, and by that remembrance, Varunaro Kyle was led back